This is where this is where Alex Gray got this stuff. I found it. This wasn't my first time taking mushrooms, but little did I know what was in store for me. I was at a festival, and it was about 5 friends. They all decided to do other things, whether it was smoking, a little bit of acid here, a little bit of K over there. I'm into the more earthy things. I decided to take these mushroom chocolates that I happened to find. The chocolates had about 2 grams of mushrooms inside of them. Me and my friend decided to eat all of it. We're on our way to see Base Nectar on a full moon set with no lights. Supposed to be complete darkness. So I thought, wonderful. This is perfect. It's gonna be right on the beach section of this festival. Took it, started walking over. It was a super uplifting, sort of fairy tale like glow that we all know very well. I could feel the energy in the crowd. Everybody was very excited. As time went along, I started becoming more empathetic than I already am. See people walking by, I could not only see the confusion on their face, but I could also feel it. I could feel everything. Love, their pain, sorrow, utter insecurity. Every time I started noticing that as my eyes were open, I could close them and see auric fields, streams of auric fields as I closed my eyes. It's almost as if my eyes were open when they were closed, but what I could perceive was something that I wouldn't have been able to unless I was on the mushroom. As I was starting to come up, started dancing and grooving, started meeting people, talking to people. It's this interesting scenario that occurs when you look into someone else's eyes and you know that they're on the same frequency or state of mind that you're in. It's this interesting knowing that is comfortable and doesn't occur otherwise. Well, start dancing and grooving, that's all good. I start getting a really big body high. The mushroom comes in waves, I feel, of energy flowing through your body as your frequency starts spiking up. And during this point, I had a very big urge to lay down. So I did. We had a blanket on the ground, and there was a couple people laying down, so it was a perfectly comfortable spot. I didn't mind the people dancing. I know they weren't going to step on me. There were other people around me either way to look out for me. I always go into any experience with a very mellow, open attitude. I don't ever overthink. Well, laid down, closed my eyes, and as I closed my eyes, that black velvet background that we all see gave way to a new place, a place I've never been before. It was a sort of greenish, yellowish, reddish sheen in the background. And as I'm so perplexed in this moment, I'm like, what is that? Place is interesting. Out of nowhere, this sort of magnetic vortex starts spewing out all these geometric shapes and patterns. It was sort of like these cool images of 2 magnets placed symmetrically next to one another. Creates a sort of spewing vortex in the center. Well, that's what I saw. And as these geometric shapes were bounding out, I noticed that these shapes started becoming faces. There were all sorts of faces. There were laughing faces, smiling faces, serious faces, sad faces, pretty much every face for every expression. I did notice the ugly faces though. Those sort of sprung out at me. I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of ugly things or not so nice things. At least that's what I thought. I noticed that as soon as I focused a little bit of my attention towards these negative faces, more of them started coming at me. It was starting to get uncomfortable at that moment, and as soon as these faces kept on coming at me, I just went and I opened my eyes. It was pretty funny to me because I was laying on the ground and no one had no idea what was going on, but I just woke up in a sort of shocked sort of way. I was like, I don't want to feel this or see this. The sort of stereotypical bad trip. I'm very quick to catch myself in any of those situations and turn it around. And I'm like, okay, took a couple breaths and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back in. Like, this is way too cool to run away from it. So, summed up my courage and went back in, closed my eyes. The vortex started up again and then the same faces, and I went, I woke up again. And I was like, what the hell? Why? And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back in. Went back in and same thing, and I stood it a little bit longer. I held myself there, and then and I was like, what the hell? This is the mushroom here, so there's probably a lesson behind this. And I'm like, wait, why am I scared of this face? Like, what does this face have anything to do with me? It's not gonna kill me. And then I was thinking, well, good and evil are just preconceived notions that I have. It's my judgment on something. Maybe I shouldn't view it in that way. Maybe I should just be okay with it. Be okay with good and evil. And I thought back to yin and yang. You can't have good without evil, or evil without good. They support each other. It's part of this reality. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'll just let it be. So, summed up my courage again and closed my eyes. I was confronted with these ugly, not so nice faces. And as I looked at them, I just said, be whatever you want to be. Just be. You're beautiful the way you are. It's okay. I understand you're part of all of this. And as soon as I sort of said that in that moment in time, it all gave way. It was as if it was raining, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Everything just flushed away. There was no more geometric patterns. There was no more geometric shapes. Just stillness and peace. And at that moment, I was like, wow. Lesson learned. Jesus. Thank you. And at that very moment, I felt like I could sort of nod up and sort of look above myself. My perception of, obviously my eyes were closed, but I had a sort of perception of space in there where I could move around or look around, let's say. I decided to look up, and I saw this monumentous, monolithic, towering sort of object above me. Up to this day, I think it was a mushroom. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't see the top of it, but I just saw this huge towering thing over me, and it had these massive veins or roots, actually, just roots coming to the sides around me, or wherever I was in that sort of space. It was surrounding me, and I look around and these roots are like all around me. At that moment, I was like, okay, this is the mushroom, literally, showing itself to me. In that moment, I I decided, and I said to it, I'm like, hi, hello, my name is so and so. Lovely to meet you. Please don't hurt me. I've heard a lot about you from Terence Mckenna. Um, this is cool. Thanks. And hi, pleasure to meet you. And in that very moment, I had a vision. The green, the, what can I say? The sort of towering mushroom thing gave way, and I was gazing forward, and all of a sudden, this angel-like figure came from the left side, let's say of the view, my view. This angel-like figure came out of the left side, and it had all these white sort of meridian-like lights all around it. It was definitely a higher being. On the right side, I saw a monkey, and this monkey was made of light as well. The monkey was lower, and the being was higher above. All I saw were faces. I didn't see bodies. And in that very moment, the spiritual, godlike spirit angel thing kissed the monkey on the forehead. And as the moment it kissed the monkey on the forehead, it transformed into a human. I was awestruck. I mean, if you're listening to this and you've ever heard of Terence Mckenna, I mean, this is straight from what he's spoken about, like the stoned ape theory. And immediately I was thrown back. I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is what Terence was talking about. This is exactly, whoa, wait, the mushroom's communicating with me. Wait, it's communicating with me. What a blessing. Like, whoa, you know, like, mushrooms don't say hi to people. Most people, they just take them and they hang out and they trip out, and they're all about their sort of interior stuff, which there's no problem with that. But as soon as all those things are taken off the table, like, this sort of experience comes on, and it was phenomenally exciting. I didn't even know, like, that could happen. So, very thrilled. All of a sudden, the right part of my vision, I saw this head, and this head slowly started coming forward to the center of my vision and became larger and larger. I had no idea what to think. Guys, girls, I saw The Godhead by Alex Gray. Literally, that one head that had a funnel going upwards into pure etheric field on the bottom as well. And it looked at me. I was like, wow, I did this. This is it. This is it. This is where Alex Gray got this stuff. These are the visions that he had. It was either he took mushrooms or whatever substance he took is along the same lines as the mushroom. I knew this was a sign. I found it. In that moment, as soon as I saw that, someone nudged me. So I was like, crap, okay, I opened my eyes. And a couple friends were like, hey, and I was like, yo, and then I decided to stand up and like, hug it out with them, talk to them, etc. for a little bit, because I was gone for quite a while, at least half an hour I was in there. Um, and as I'm talking to them, I stand still and I'm gazing at the stars at this moment. And I'm looking out into the infinite, and we're in the middle of Florida at some festival. So the night sky, super dark, see all the stars. In between all these stars, I noticed this really faint pink line that connected all of the stars, sort of like a constellation. If you've ever seen a picture of that, there's a line that usually connects them. Well, I saw the same thing, not necessarily in constellations, but there are just connections all over the place. And I was like, wow, I can't perceive this if I'm sober. This is very interesting. I wonder what it means. And then I could see a pink sort of fluorescent sheen or shine of the seed of life. It took about, I don't know, I'd say 10% of the sky. And I was like, holy crap, that's a seed of life. That's so cool. Wait, so that it actually means something. From all these ancient civilizations, maybe they could see what I'm seeing right now. Maybe the mushroom helped them see it. And then I closed my eyes and I asked the mushroom, please, mushroom, allow me to see more, please. And I kid you not, as soon as I opened my eyes, the whole sky just bursted in the seed of life, all throughout the sky. It was as if someone threw a basketball in a really calm pool or something. It was just this shock wave of seed of life patterns in the sky in pink. I was awestruck. I didn't have much to say, except the thought of I have to lay back down and go back. Like this whole dancing right now and like doing that sort of ritualistic thing. No. That's not where it's at right now. I need to go back. So as soon as that happened, I looked around a bit. People were dancing, experiencing, having fun. I decided to lay back down. The moment I closed my eyes, I could see that greenish, red, yellowish backdrop to the whole scene. And it was sort of as if I was in an elevator, the level, it's like I went up a level or a floor, let's say. And as soon as that floor gave way, I saw the mushroom elders or the beings. They were all sitting there's about 5 to 6 of them in front of me, sitting Indian style. They had mushroom heads, sort of, let's see, a cap on the top, and under the cap was like a rounded face. I couldn't make out their faces though. It kept on morphing. In other words, their facial area, it just kept on morphing and shifting. There was no static face. Their bodies were very smooth. Their arms were very cylindrical, kind of like a cartoon, like just no opposable fingers anywhere. It's all very smooth, and the same thing with the legs, very cylindrical, and they're just sitting Indian style. And mind you, throughout this whole trip, music is going, bass nectar is going, and can't really hear. More of a sort of, there is a telepathic communication there, but not so much voices. So they're all sitting Indian style in front of me, and I'm like, holy shit, wow, I had no idea how, huh, huh, how did you guys get up here? Like, this is so, there's so many of you. Like, how, wow, there is a spirit behind the mushroom. Unlike acid, there's no, I don't feel a spirit behind acid. But so I get again that sort of sense of depth perception. So I see them sitting in front of me, and I get the feeling I can kind of look on the side, sort of thing, and see what's behind them. So I look on the side, and behind each one of them is an infinite row of the same mushroom sitting behind them. So you can imagine 5 rows going back, all the way to infinity. I couldn't see the end of it. And at this point, I was just like, of course, like, if you're infinite, yes, I get it. And I didn't know what to ask. I was just very, very, very impressed. And pretty much that went on for a little bit, and I told them thank you, and this is an honor, and I hope to meet you guys again and see you again and learn. I just made sure to thank them and appreciate their presence, and I told them I'd love to see you again. I hope I can come back here and have a proper chat with you and do it in silence without any distractions. And then friends nudged me again, and it was already time to go. The set was over. So got up and left. I was still tripping, but just not. I had already come down from the peak. An interesting note. I love Terence McKenna. I love all his talks. Very smart individual. I did notice that throughout the festival, I'd see people that looked just like Terence McKenna. All of them were guys, but yeah, and different guy too. It wasn't the same guy. It's very odd. But we'll talk about synchronicities, huh? But all in all, the experience was phenomenal. Would I do mushrooms again? Yes. Would I do chocolates again? Hell yes. Next time though, I'll make sure that I don't have any distractions and I can travel within and speak to the mushroom and ask very, very important questions that will aid our society. Most definitely. Peace and love. And that wraps up our first story. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for sharing and sending that to me. If anyone out there is listening and you have any stories that you'd like to share, by all means, send it to psychedelictales@yahoo.com. I'll be happy to take a look. I accept audio and written things. Remember to like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications for new psychedelic tales.